Someone just crossed a line. Not subtly, not accidentally. They disrespected you in a way that makes your blood boil. Your muscles tighten, your jaw clenches. Your mind races with sharp, cutting words that demand release. You feel the sting of insult, the heat of anger, the urge to strike back immediately. In that moment, everything is on the line. Not what they did, but how you respond. This is the defining test of your character, not their behavior. Your reaction is the proof of your strength, or the expose of your weakness. Most people think strength is giving an immediate, satisfying response. They think anger and retaliation equal power. But they don't. Real power is controlled, deliberate, unshakable. It's choosing action that preserves your dignity while exposing your restraint as superiority. Marcus Aurelius faced endless criticism, betrayal, and attacks as emperor. Yet he warned, "He who is angry has already lost." Anger is not weakness, it's surrender. Surrender to your impulses, your emotional triggers, your primitive instincts. True strength is responding in a way that your emotions do not dictate, in a way that reinforces your dignity instead of eroding it. The difference between a powerful response and a powerless reaction is simple. One serves your long-term self-respect. The other only gratifies short-term emotional satisfaction. Most people confuse venting their anger with strength. They believe that screaming, arguing, or retaliating proves they are in control. In reality, every instant reaction hands control of your mind, your actions, and your reputation over to someone else. Your first mistake, and the most common, is reacting immediately. The initial surge of anger, hurt, or indignation is a trap. It feels urgent, natural, unavoidable, but it is precisely when you are most vulnerable to losing yourself. Immediate reactions are emotionally driven, not strategically designed. When you respond in the heat of the moment, you allow someone else's disrespect to dictate your behavior. You become reactive, not responsive. They want this. They want to see your self-control crumble. I've seen it countless times. A colleague publicly criticized, felt cornered, and immediately lashed out. His defense was full of heat, accusations, and counterattacks. What could have exposed the critic as petty instead became a spectacle of his own loss of control. The room remembered his outburst, and not the insult. Immediate reactions always exaggerate the situation. They escalate. They expose. They humiliate. Epictetus teaches us one of the most important truths in human behavior. Between stimulus and response lies your freedom. That pause, that sliver of space, is where true power lives. Reacting immediately destroys it. Your primitive brain sees disrespect as a threat and screams for fight or flight. But this is not a predator. It's a social confrontation. Social attacks require calculated action, not impulsive survival instincts. Here's your weapon. Pause. Take 3 deep breaths. Give your rational mind, your prefrontal cortex, time to engage. Ask yourself, which response protects my dignity? Which reinforces my standards? What feels good in the moment, sharply cutting them down, rarely serves your long-term self-respect. Your goal is not to punish. It is to assert yourself with intelligence, restraint, and power that can't be taken from you. During that pause, imagine observing the situation from the outside, as if you were coaching yourself. How would the person you respect most act in this moment? How would you want to look back on your response tomorrow, next week, or next year? Your emotions, anger, hurt, indignation are signals, not commands. They are information about the violation of your values, not instructions to lash out. That space between insult and response is where you claim your sovereignty. Every choice you make in that moment either reinforces your strength or hands over your power. This is why controlling your timing is critical. It allows your intellect to intervene before your impulses dominate. Immediate reactions are a surrender of authority to someone who is actively trying to destabilize you. The second mistake is trying to change their mind. When someone disrespects you, the instinct to argue, justify, or convince them of your worth is seductive but disastrous. It's like wrestling with a pig. You both get dirty, but the pig enjoys it. Someone who chooses to disrespect you has already decided your value is irrelevant. Presenting evidence, listing accomplishments, demanding acknowledgement. These are all traps that shift power away from you. I've seen it countless times. A friend spent over an hour trying to prove the fairness of her work to a dismissive colleague. The more she argued, the deeper she fell into desperation, revealing more need for validation than authority. The instant you try to force recognition from someone who doesn't respect it, You give them control of your emotional state and hand them your dignity. Marcus Aurelius understood this clearly. Other people's opinions are none of your business. When you chase acknowledgement, you make their perception the arbiter of your worth, which is a fatal error. Disrespect usually comes from insecurity, jealousy, or the need to assert dominance, not from any deficiency in you. No argument, no proof. No display of achievement will shift their mind if their disrespect serves their internal agenda. When you stop trying to convince them, you reclaim your authority. Your response becomes about maintaining your dignity, not negotiating it. A simple, firm statement like, "I disagree with your assessment," or "that does not reflect the reality of the situation," sets the boundary without giving them power over your peace. Silence can often be louder than any argument. The third mistake, and the one almost everyone makes automatically, is matching their energy. When someone disrespects you and you mirror their tone, volumes, or aggression, you instantly lose the upper hand. Mirroring feels natural. It seems like strength. You think raising your voice when they shout proves you won't be intimidated. But in reality, it signals that their behavior controls you. You adopt their chaos, their emotional instability, their hostility. Instead of looking strong, you appear reactive, unprofessional, and easily manipulated. The moment you match energy, you validate their approach and abandon your moral and psychological advantage. Observers can't discern who is in control anymore. Both parties appear equally unbalanced. That's exactly what a disrespectful person wants. True power in conflict lies in contrast, not mimicry. When someone attacks with aggression, your strength is shown by lowering your tone, slowing your speech, and maintaining calm. If they are loud, speak softly. If they are frantic, respond deliberately. If they are emotional, choose rational clarity. This approach creates an immediate psychological dissonance. The stark difference exposes their instability, while your composure signals control. Observers instinctively recognize who holds authority. You do not have to argue louder, prove more, or escalate. Your calm becomes a mirror showing their chaos, your restraint a weapon of subtle dominance. Power is not about volume. It is about mastery over self while revealing truth in others. Most people underestimate the magnetic force of composure. Staying calm under attack doesn't mean passivity. It means active control. Anyone can match aggression. Few can remain centered while chaos surrounds them. When you refuse to mirror their energy, you force the aggressor to stand exposed, their disrespect highlighted for everyone to see. Your response, measured and precise, demonstrates that you are not swayed by provocation. You retain dignity, protect your reputation, and maintain strategic advantage. The more they escalate, the more your calmness shines. This is not weakness, it is strength in action. Discipline over impulse. A demonstration of emotional intelligence that turns a potential conflict into a showcase of your superiority. The fourth mistake is making it personal. The moment you attack someone's character, or history, or identity, you have already lost control of the conflict. Criticizing behavior is constructive. Criticizing character is destructive. When you say, "You always fail at this," or "That's just who you are," you've shifted from addressing the problem to waging a personal war. This not only escalates the situation, but also damages your reputation. Personal attacks expose your inability to separate emotions from strategy, revealing that under pressure you prioritize revenge over resolution. The person who makes it about the other's character may feel momentary satisfaction, but they sacrifice influence, credibility, and moral authority in the process. Focus on behavior, not identity. Address the action, not the person. Say, "That comment was unprofessional," instead of "You're always disrespectful." Keep your critique specific, targeted, and about what can change. This approach preserves relationships, keeps the conflict contained, and signals maturity and self-control. It also prevents escalation into a war of egos. Observers notice your professionalism while the aggressor's behavior is revealed for what it truly is. Attacking the person rarely solves the problem. It only poisons the environment and erodes your own credibility. True influence comes from staying on the high ground, confronting the issue without dragging the discussion into personal territory. Making it personal also ensures long-term damage. While behavior can be corrected or acknowledged, attacking character leaves permanent scars in relationships and reputation. People forgive criticism of actions. They rarely forgive character assassination. The person you lash out at may never forget your words, even if they move past the original incident. By targeting their behavior instead, You maintain the possibility of future collaboration, preserve your professional image, and demonstrate emotional mastery. Marcus Aurelius advised focusing on the virtues of others rather than their flaws. Apply this in conflict by separating the person from the action. Addressing what was done, not who they are, is the line between strength and destructiveness. The fifth mistake is letting it consume you. This is the trap that quietly ruins your peace long after the insult is gone. When you replay the event, plan endless comebacks, or let anger fester. You give the offender free residence in your mind. They attacked once, but you allow the violation to repeat itself through rumination. I've seen it happen repeatedly. A brief disrespectful comment escalates into days or weeks of replayed conversations. Imagine confrontations and obsessive analysis. While they have likely forgotten the incident entirely, you are trapped in your own mental prison, exhausting energy, poisoning mood, and sabotaging your focus on meaningful pursuits. Rumination is the silent thief of power. Every minute spent replaying the insult reinforces neural pathways of anger and hurt, training your brain to relive the pain instead of moving forward. This is not reflection, it is self-inflicted suffering. The original incident may have lasted seconds, but your mental replay can extend it indefinitely, giving the other person control over your emotions long after the fact. Experiential avoidance, trying to process what cannot be changed, only strengthens the grip of negativity. Your focus becomes hijacked by the past instead of directed at the present and future, the areas where your energy actually matters. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters. Allowing disrespect to occupy your mind repeatedly is choosing to be hurt again and again. It is like picking at a wound instead of letting it heal. The moment is over, the insult has passed. Yet you extend its life artificially, turning a minor attack into a prolonged siege on your peace of mind. Your mental real estate is too valuable to rent to someone who has no right to it. Every thought replaying their offense is a choice, one that drains energy, destroys focus, and empowers the offender far beyond their original act. To protect yourself, set strict limits on processing the incident. Allow yourself a brief, conscious period, 10 minutes, perhaps to acknowledge the emotions, anger, hurt, frustration. Accept them as natural signals that your values were violated. Then, deliberately move on. Record the event in your mental database as a data point about their character or habits, not as a measure of your worth. Use the insight strategically. Learn, soar, adjust, and protect yourself in future interactions. But do not let it dominate your thoughts, ruin your weekend, or poison your relationships. Containment of mental energy is not avoidance. It is disciplined sovereignty over your inner world. When you catch your mind returning to the incident, redirect immediately. Have a plan, a project, a goal, a problem to solve, or even a simple reminder of your priorities. Train your attention like a muscle. Focus on what you can control and influence, not what is already done. Every moment spent ruminating is stolen time, wasted energy, and a gift to the person who disrespected you. Protect your cognitive and emotional resources fiercely. The mind is your most valuable territory. Do not allow someone else to squat there uninvited. The ability to release, refocus, and act on purpose separates those who are disciplined from those who are enslaved by circumstance. Remember, your peace of mind is non-negotiable. When someone disrespects you, the first victory is not winning the argument. It is preserving your inner calm. People who react emotionally are handing over their control. People who dwell on the insult are prolonging the battle in their own minds. Every replayed insult is a choice to remain a victim. Even when the original act is long over, choose instead to contain the event, extract any useful lesson, and release the rest. Your focus belongs to your life, your work, and your goals, not to anyone else's cruelty or carelessness. Master this, and you reclaim hours, days, and even months of stolen mental energy. When you avoid these 5 mistakes, reacting immediately, trying to change minds, matching energy, making it personal, and letting it consume you, you do more than survive disrespect. You thrive through it. You maintain your dignity while others reveal their character. You earn respect without demanding it. You demonstrate strength that is rooted not in force, but in control. Every encounter becomes a test of your mastery over self, a chance to prove that your standards, values, and composure are not negotiable. The insult, the provocation, the attack, these are fleeting. Your response, however, echoes long after the moment has passed, shaping how others perceive you, and, most importantly, how you perceive yourself. Your character is revealed not by how others treat you, but by how you respond to it. This is the essence of Stoic discipline. External events are beyond your control, but your judgment, your actions, your emotional regulation are entirely yours. When someone disrespects you, you are offered a mirror. You can show volatility, weakness, and impulsivity, or you can demonstrate restraint, intelligence, and moral clarity. The difference is striking. Observers notice the contrast immediately. They see who is controlled by circumstances and who controls themselves. Every response is a statement. This is who you are when challenged. Make it count. True respect is earned, not demanded. When you respond to disrespect with wisdom, calm, and precision, you signal that your value is self-evident and not contingent on external approval. Arguments, justifications, and emotional outbursts only highlight dependence on validation. People who seek recognition through confrontation reveal fragility. Those who act with composure demonstrate inner strength. By avoiding the 5 mistakes, you create a psychological upper hand that is subtle but undeniable. Your presence, your measured response, and your refusal to engage on their terms communicate authority far more powerfully than any words of defense ever could. Control over your response is not passive, it is active. Strategic power. Every insult or slight is an opportunity to assert your sovereignty. When you pause before reacting, refuse to justify your worth. Resist matching hostility. Keep the focus on behavior, and refuse to ruminate. You demonstrate mastery over both yourself and the situation. Others may try to provoke you, yet your calm and deliberate approach neutralizes their attacks. This is not weakness disguised as patience. It is discipline fused with strategy. The hallmark of a person who commands respect without needing to demand it. Your emotional control becomes your strongest weapon. When others attempt to provoke you, they are testing whether you are ruled by impulses or by principles. Those who react immediately or match energy give away their power. Those who respond thoughtfully, with calm and precision, reveal an unshakable core. This is not merely about social perception, it's about internal authority. You maintain your standards, protect your dignity, and silently expose the flaws in others' behavior. People notice this difference instinctively. Composure speaks louder than words, and restraint is recognized as true strength. When you refuse to let disrespect define your emotions, you free yourself from its grip. The aggressor may walk away, satisfied in the moment, but you retain control over your mind, your focus, and your energy. This is a victory far greater than any argument could provide. You are no longer reacting to the world. You are choosing your responses deliberately, asserting sovereignty over your inner life. The insult is transient, but your composure, integrity, and discipline endure. Every controlled reaction reinforces your identity. You are someone who cannot be destabilized by external forces, no matter how aggressive or provocative they appear. Disrespect is a test of mental and emotional resilience. The world will always contain people who provoke, belittle, or attack without cause. Your power lies not in eliminating them, but in managing your response. By avoiding impulsive reactions, refusing to chase approval, and maintaining composure, you assert a quiet dominance. You show that your value is intrinsic, your peace non-negotiable, and your actions guided by principle rather than emotion. Each encounter is an opportunity to reinforce your discipline, to sharpen your judgment, and to demonstrate the rare strength that comes from mastery over oneself rather than domination over others. Remember, every insult you endure is also an opportunity to teach by example. Your restraint, clarity, and dignity communicate more than words ever could. Observers, not just the aggressor, learn who holds authority, who acts with wisdom, and who maintains composure under pressure. This is psychological leverage. While the disrespectful person relies on chaos to assert control, your calm, measured presence exposes their instability. You demonstrate that power is not loud or reactive. It is deliberate, controlled, and principled. Every response that avoids the 5 mistakes compounds your credibility and reinforces your long-term influence. The ultimate lesson is that your self-respect is non-negotiable. You cannot outsource it to someone else's opinion, approval, or recognition. Respect freely given is meaningful. Respect begged for or demanded is worthless. When someone disrespects you, your goal is not to force acknowledgement. It is to protect your dignity, assert your standards, and act from principle by mastering the 5 mistakes. You ensure that your response is always intentional, measured, and effective. You win not by defeating them, but by remaining unshaken, composed, and sovereign over your own mind. Your life is defined less by the actions of others and more by how you navigate their provocations. Every slight, insult, or attempt to undermine you is a test of your discipline, patience, and strategic thinking. Those who succumb to impulsive reactions, futile arguments, or emotional mirroring lose far more than the moment. They lose credibility, influence, and self-respect. Those who act deliberately, grounded in wisdom and self-control, turn confrontation into demonstration of character. Your calm, measured, and principled responses ensure that you are remembered for strength, not volatility, for dignity, not reaction. This is the culmination. Your true power is revealed in restraint, not retaliation. The 5 mistakes: reacting immediately, trying to change minds, matching energy, making it personal, and letting it consume you are traps designed to steal your dignity and control. Avoid them, and you reclaim authority over every interaction. Your responses become a testament to your discipline, your wisdom, and your inner strength. When someone disrespects you, you show not anger or desperation, but calm mastery, moral clarity, and unwavering self-respect. This is how you earn respect from others, preserve your integrity, and, most importantly, prove to yourself that your character is unshakable, no matter the provocation.